Hello everybody, I know I don't sound that well, but well, I promised you a video today. I'm promising you a video today. Hey. Anyway, this is blood is a powerful element. Anyway, here I go with this podfic. Izuku Midoriya is presumed quirkless until the age of 10. Where, when he went to the doctor's office at 5.5 years old, the doctor says that he's likely to never get a quirk. But there's still a possibility, even slightly. And Izuku has always wanted that slightly to be true. Because the doctor, thanks to laws that were passed recently, couldn't have said that he didn't have any chance because of the fact that there were over 1,000 people misdiagnosed. So, technically speaking, Dr. was correct. But, well, when Izuku said he wanted to be a hero, everyone laughed. And Inko was just sad that she couldn't give him a quirk. Then, when he turned 10 years old on the dot, he woke up and he woke up at 3:52 a.m. at night and went out to get something to drink and saw a man that had a knife pulled out to Inko's throat. And she has the phone right there. And he hears the man say, "Give me all your money, bitch." And she says, No, I need it for my son's future. And she makes the knife point into the guy's direction. And he slices his hand, and Izuku doesn't know why. But he feels something coming from that open wound, and Izuku just pulls on it. And the man just stills. And he says, "Why can I not move? Why can I not move?" And Izuku, curious, wants this man to stop hurting his mommy. And the man stops, and drops the knife. Inko says, "Izuku, you have a quirk." And Izuku says, What's my quirk, mommy?" Inko says, "It's blood telekinesis." And Inko says that because she's not going to say manipulation, because let's just say, technically speaking, it is blood telekinesis. But while semantics aside, she wants this man out of her house because this man broke in. So, after she did already call the cops, she waits for the police to come, and the police do come and get statements. And Izuku explains what happened from his perspective, and one of the cops stiffens and says, "A blood manipulation quirk? Terrible quirk to get, kid." And one of the cops hit him on the side of the head and says, Charles, I understand you're from Texas." Says, "Put buzz off on the kid." Charles says, "What, it's true?" And the man says, "He was quirkless. In Japan, quirkless means useless. as much as it is not true. And Charles and this other officer yell at each other outside of the family's view, and the other police officer says, "Anyway, I believe we have all the statements we need, and thanks to the fact that it was in self-defense, and the fact that apparently your son just had his quirk activate, he, legally speaking, has the legal grace period of 3 years. Years as every person in Japan gets. It's when they turn 4, or when they get their quirk to legally activate, or when they get it to activate for the first time." And Zuko is happy, and when she brings him to the quirk doctor, a different one, obviously, because the first one was the one from the original series, quirk doctor says, "Well, you are not quirkless." And Zuko says, how does my quirk work? And he says, "Well, let's just say this. You know the red liquid that's in every human being? Yeah? You can manipulate that. And also manipulate the DNA that's in every human being. And bring it to yourself. I don't know what you can really do, but, well, try to train with it with your own blood. But be careful. You do need some nutrients of blood each week, but not too much, really. And we're not taking chances, so you'll be having a government stipend of about 5 ounces, about 12 ounces of blood a week." And Zuko, when he learns about all the stuff that he needs for his quirk, or just the amount of blood he's given, honestly, his blood, quote-unquote, bloodthirst, or the nutrient requirement for his quirk, is not that high. Because, yes, he might get 12 ounces a week, but honestly, he don't need that much. Honestly, it feels like that sometimes they don't calculate how much blood that someone needs each week correctly. Because Izuku, in his opinion, barely drinks an ounce a week. And yes, to him, and there's a bit of psychological that he doesn't want to drink the blood, and the fact that his cravings for blood have never been that bad. And over the years, Izuku trains how to use his quirk, and also learns more about it. For example, Izuku finds out that, through a thing of stroke luck and accident, that technically speaking, he's immortal. But he will never tell anyone that unless necessary. Another thing is that with enough of someone's blood, he can use someone's quirk. He found that out when Bakugo was beating him up one day, and while Bakugo tends to leave he doesn't mind having his blood, his fists bloodied up with his own blood. And Izuku, at this point, can copy and or steal Bakugo's quirk, but he's wanting to be a hero, so he doesn't. Then, when he turns 14, and gets his stipend of blood that day, he says, "Honestly, I don't need this much blood. But honestly, I've heard horror stories from the internet of people not getting enough and going on blood rages. So, I'm not going to complain." As much as Izuku is a very good, innocent, good person and very much willing to share and not abuse the system, he also has the understanding that he's smart enough to know that the only reason why the government gives him so much blood is the fact that on paper his quirk is very powerful, but untested. So they gave him more blood than he needs at all, and honestly, in his opinion, he might think it would just be an annoyance, but he doesn't know. And he goes out a week before, or his last year of middle school will start, and he sees a girl with blonde hair, and she jumps him and says, "Where's the blood I smell?" And he says, what do you mean? Where's that blood I smell? And he says, here? And he gives a vial of blood because his mother, yes, she's a bit somewhat little disturbed about his quirk, but honestly, she's just happy he has a quirk. And, well, she just is a bit overprotective and cautious, and the fact that she makes him bring a blood vial to school every day, even though he's only drinking a little bit every day, not even enough to even equivalent an ounce. Where he's more hungry for normal food than blood. And he gives this girl a good half of a vial, and she says, "Oh my goodness." And he sees the fact that she has cat-like eyes. And she says, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." And he says, "I presume you are a person with a blood quirk that doesn't get enough blood each month or week." you Let's just say this. I get 5 ounces of blood a week. Look at the consumption I just drank. And honestly, that was good blood. And he says, "Oh, ew." And she says, "Yeah. My name's Toga Himiko." And she and Izuku, over the next few weeks, become very good friends. Because, yes, Timiko is a bit older by a good 2 months. And outside of character, yes, I'm de-aging her. So what? And she and Izuku, coincidentally, go to the same school after the fact that she had to defend herself from a situation where it would have been bad if she wasn't on the amount of blood she is given, thanks to Izuku sharing his blood, because, well, he has a proper way to make sure all the blood is good and safe, so he has buckets of blood, because the government gives him no. At this point, they're increasing the amount of blood he's given. And Himiko has been getting the blood that Izuku does not need. And the day that, well, is a changing point, Izuku, Himiko, and his class wait for the teacher to talk. I'll get the front of the class, and the teacher says, "Well, everybody, today is the day you're going to pick out your careers. Well, you all just want to be heroes, and everyone else uses their quirks besides Izuku, Himiko, and Bakugo." And Bakugo says, "I'm the only one getting out of this bloody school to a decent school." And everyone says, hey. And the teacher says, "Oh, you're going to UA. You're going to try to get into UA." And everyone mentions that that's a very high-up school, and that only has 300 students, or out of 300 students that get in, only one get in. Or that's the ratio. And the teacher says, "Oh, Himiko, and Izuku and Midori are trying to get in." And Bakugo is furious at what he considers these villains trying to get into a hero school. And Izuku, slightly uses the fact that, well, most people besides it's his mother and Himiko know that he can use quirks of the people he has blood from, where basically, let's just say he goes out at night waiting to find people that are bleeding, and let's just say he morally says to himself, they're not using the blood anymore. So Izuku uses the blood of the dead to basically have quirks. And, well, he's going to just pop that out later this week. And Izuku, when Bakugo bashes into a desk, is a lot more fit than canon, so he says, "Bakugo, I'll be blunt. Yes, I might have a quirk that people consider villainous, but I will be a hero with it. And unlike you, where you just use your quirk to beat up people." And Izuku is a lot more not patient for this, for Bakugo's bull. And Bakugo is pissed and says, "Oh, you stupid villain." And the teacher says, "Bakugo, get back in your seat." And after class, he and Himiko are the last two besides the Bakugo, the people call the Bakugo Agency, or Bakugo Gang thing. And Bakugo says, "Oh, you little villain." When he blasts up the notebook that Izuku has and says, "You're gonna try to be a hero, oh Deku, goo." And Himiko is very pissed and is held back by Bakugo's goons, and Bakugo says, "If you want to be a hero so bloody badly," he says right after throwing the book out the window, "Go throw yourself off a roof and hope for a better quirk in your next life." And Bakugo gets to the door and his goons come to him, and Izuku says, "You know what my quirk is, right?" "What is it?" "It's blood telekinesis." "Well, yes, technically speaking, it is both. Blood telekinesis and blood manipulation. You know something funny about that is? Blood is in every part of the human body to the point where it's in the heart. You know something funny that me and my mother share?" "What?" "Simple. We both can target the heart. She can target the heart because it's the same size as her hand. I can target the heart because it has blood going through it." And Bakugo says, "You wouldn't." And he says, "No, I wouldn't. Well, unless you turn to a villain." And he and Himiko leave. And I think that's a good place to end this episode. I know this is a rocky start. I know. Honestly, I think I'll do a different version at some point. But I just want to see your guys' honest reactions to this one. Yes, I know there's not much dialogue, but, well, I didn't have the brain function today to really put in the backstory where, like, the individual moments. So, if you like it, I hope you do. If you don't, please put in the comments what you didn't like. Anyway, please like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.